Hey guys. Okay, so now we're back on track after yesterday's little pivot to project management because I love project management a little too much. I wanted to talk to you guys just about worrying and anxiety because right now, just as I talk to people, I'm realizing how rampant anxiety is just running throughout everyone's lives. And I know that, we went through a pandemic, we've gone through, we're still going through a ton of stuff right now, and just people are on edge and they're worrying about things and they're anxious and they're not doing things for themselves that they should be doing because the amount of worry and anxiety that they have is blocking that. It's blocking their next step. And that whether that's taking care of themselves or getting out of a bad relationship or starting a new job or going to school or starting your business, whatever it is, anxiety is just holding people back. And it breaks my heart. Um, and I know it's not easy, but I just wanted to share some tips that I've seen that work for me and work for people that I have been close to and some of the clients that I have. Obviously, I'm not a counselor, so I'm not here to actually help you with your anxiety. I just want to share things that have personally been beneficial to me. So the first thing is just to stop pushing yourself so hard. We want to put enough time and energy and effort into things that we're doing that we do it well. But oftentimes the expectations that we put on ourselves are so high that they're almost impossible to reach, right? So we always have the saying, like we're the hardest critic of ourselves, right? We don't judge other people in the same way that we judge ourselves. So really, we just need to slow down a little bit and allow ourselves time to get things done well. So stop pushing yourself so hard because it takes a while to do things well. And oftentimes I think we have that perfectionist nag in our head, where we just keep going and we can't handle it. Also, taking a brain break. So we're not designed for long-term focus. And this is something that I do talk to my clients about within their workday. And I've talked about time blocking before, and we'll probably talk about time blocking again because I nerd out on it. Um, but you need to schedule time into your day. So whether that looks like, getting out of your office for 10 to 15 minutes and, going on a walk, or maybe you just need to stand up from your cubicle and have a quick chat with a colleague, or, if you can't get out of your office, if there's a window that you can just look out and look at something far for like 5 minutes to give your eyes a break, it can really help you regroup. Um, so, I think people, especially in today's corporate world, think that taking breaks means you're lazy, but really your brain needs it, your eyes need it. And so I really do encourage you to, if you have the flexibility, to schedule breaks into your day. And you're going to be a better employee or a better mom, better person in general, whatever you have going on, if you do take those breaks. And when I say take a break, I don't want you guys to step away from what you're doing to like scroll on social media. You need to step away and just let your brain chill. Let your mind decompress everything that you were just doing. Just be in silence. It's amazing today how uncomfortable people are in silence. So I want to encourage you to learn how to be comfortable in silence. I actually went through this program a few years ago, and we were talking about all sorts of things in life, and just like, we did talk about productivity and the habits we have and just different lifestyle things. But one thing they challenge us to do is to turn our radio off. And I forget if it was all week or just for a couple days. So when you're driving, turn your radio off and don't listen to anything. And I'll tell you what, like, it's super hard in the beginning because we are so used to like the constant stimulus in our life that like our brain almost doesn't know what to do in silence. And so that was a tangent. Point here, take breaks during your day and let your brain reset, let your eyes refocus. And then, so tip number 3 is getting enough sleep. So anxiety and sleep disturbance, like they feed each other. When we are tired, our anxiety goes up. And so even like just in health in general for your brain, like there's sleep is good for you. we were meant to sleep. And there's so many sleep studies out there. They're always trying to get people to like at least sleep 8 hours a day. And what's the cause of us not sleeping? Oftentimes it's a screen, right, guys? Like, put the phone down. Just sleep. And so I want you guys to get enough sleep. That's huge. I bet like if you did, I don't even know how long. So I challenge you for 3 weeks, try to get enough sleep and see how you feel, see what the difference is. Um, and then, when you are feeling anxiety, another thing that I have realized is that when we're worried and we have anxiety and things are just really intense and we feel overwhelmed, we lose our grip on perspective. Everything all of a sudden seems like too big to handle. Um, Everything is stressful. Everyone is, either unhappy with us or we're just really irritable. So when you are experiencing the anxiety or the worry, like acknowledge that so that it doesn't make everything else in your life feel like an elephant, right? And then expose yourself to positivity. So I want you guys to be not only aware of who you're hanging out with, but what you're listening to, what you're watching, what you're reading, and make sure it's actually benefiting you and it's helping you grow to be a better person. Because some of the lyrics out there, some of the news channels, all the articles basically are not bringing out the best person in you and they're bringing you down. So when you see an article on your phone or you're about to watch a show, like ask yourself, like, does this benefit me? And how does it benefit me? Is it going to help my brain think positive thoughts? Is it going to make my life better? Or is it going to bring me down? Is it going to cause me to be more anxious? Is it going to cause me to feel like my life's not good enough? Like, what is the purpose of what you're doing and what are you going to get out of it? Okay. And that goes back to when we were talking about the project management stuff, as far as like practicing gratitude, whether it's every day or at the end of the week, it helps us have more positive thoughts. And then the more positivity we have, the less anxiety that we're eventually going to have. And I know there's medical stuff out there, and I'm just talking about general practices, not anything like chemical. So if there's chemical stuff going on, that's beyond this probably. And just be mindful of your space and the environment that you put yourselves in, and kind of, be aware of how you feel. Like when you are somewhere that you shouldn't be, like you feel it. And so you need to honor yourself and your knowledge of situations that you're in. And then if you are feeling anxious in a situation that you feel is still safe, then practice breathing and start looking at what about that scenario is making you have that reaction, because that's going to also help you figure out where your anxiety and worry is coming from. And then if you've had a stressful week, like find a way to lighten up. And maybe you need to, you can hang out with kids. Kids can either, most kids are like eventually will bring a lot of humor to the situation. Or if you are just really craving that screen time, put a comedy on or watch a comedian that you know is a positive comedian that's not going to bring you down, but is going to, just make you laugh. Sometimes we just need a half an hour of laughing and it can cure a lot. Laughter is huge. And then the last thing is just to build strong relationships. I feel like in the last couple of years, a lot of us have lost really strong friendships because we had a year where we didn't see people in person. We didn't receive hugs. We didn't hang out and have coffee or go on walks or whatever you do with your friends, right? And then when we came back to actually hanging out together, I noticed that not everyone came back. And so I really want you guys, that's I think my biggest challenge in all of this is to challenge you guys to, whether maybe those original friendships aren't the ones that you should be in, maybe they're not the most positive thing, and that's okay. But I encourage you to find in-person friendships. Or if you need to make a phone call, if you don't feel comfortable being in person, that's fine. But you need to be building strong relationships with people who care about you and that you care about them and that you provide value to one another. And you need to be intentional about that, whether that's a phone call or whether it's calling someone up and saying, hey, let's get coffee, let's go on a walk, let's go work out, whatever it is. But I want you guys to be nurturing positive relationships because that's going to help you build a resilience to stress and anxiety. And, you know, to wrap this up, anxiety is normal. I think everyone I know experiences anxiety at some point, at some level, and it's a huge spectrum. We all experience it differently. Different. I can't talk today, and we don't know how the other person experiences it. So I encourage you not to be judgmental of people who experience anxiety, who are experiencing worry, and it holds them back. Whether and it holds us all back in a different way. Some people it's just like, oh, this stresses me out, and they go to bad habits to take care of it. Um, like maybe it's alcohol or who knows what their bad habit is that helps them cope with their anxiety. And sadly, that's more acceptable in society. And some people, it makes them not leave their house. It makes them not want to text people. It makes them just want to like zone out on their couch all alone. And when anxiety creates that type of habit with us, that's going to lead to depression. It's going to lead to physical ailments. So I just encourage you to care about each other and to reach out and really like take care of yourself and be aware if you need help. Be aware if you need to maybe change up your lifestyle a little bit. But I love you all, and I'm always here to talk. And as you know, because I like talking, but I will be on here again soon. So I love you all. Have a great day.